Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Another episode of Dead Air Radio. I'm your host, Steve Fletch. I have my co-host here, Mitch Hartman. Mitch, how's it going?
It's great. Chilling. Finally skating again. Things are good. Found the greatest drink known to man in the wild. I haven't seen this in years, and I'm so psyched. Give me Orangina all day.
That still exists?
That's what I'm saying. I went to this random Russian supermarket, and they had it on the shelf, and it was like, I was so happy. Dude, I would get like a Dyrdek-sized monster tattoo of an Orangina logo if they would like give me flow.
What is that? It's tangerine flavored or something?
It's like just carbonated orange juice, basically, but it's so good, and I haven't found it in years. So I'm like, today is a win already.
I've never heard of it.
It's French.
Is
like,
it?
Even the can is like written in French.
Right, I'm on the hunt.
I'm going to go try and find some.
Yeah, good luck.
What was it? Keenan's First Fun Board. That's the graphic.
Yeah.
Or the top graphic.
Something like that. But yeah, I remember because I looked up the one time. I was like, has anybody done like an Orangina spoof? Because I needed to have it. But obviously that's way too far back to find one of those easy. Anyway, enough of my tangent. We have a guest today.
We do have a guest, Dave Waite. Dave of 35th Avenue. How are you doing?
Doing good.
I just got home from skating and did my cold plunge before I got on the podcast here, so I'm still a bit chilly, but it's pretty hot out here for Washington. It's like been in the 90s, so kind of rough. But yeah, everything's good. Skating a bunch. Shop's a little slow, but that's pretty much the standard for everybody right now.
Dude, it feels like Washington here right now. It's literally, if you look at the forecast, it's rain for the next like 10 days straight.
That's mine too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a rainy
Any day right about now. It's been kind of a warm last month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, we just keep getting these like 4 or 5 o'clock every day. It rains for like an hour or two. Just enough to like make sure that I can't skate after work.
I was just going to say, I have zero plans for this episode, so the chaos that will ensue, we'll see, whatever happens here. Just happy to have you on, Dave, and, so I guess you said the shop's been slow, but I guess slower to other summers or not a lot of new kids skating.
I feel like we've been
Selling a lot of skateboards to new skaters, but they really have no, like, they're not even interested in like skateboard industry or anything. They're just like want a skateboard. A bunch of kids like that I don't want to sound like the broken record of every interview here with a skate shop guy, because I feel like we're all kind of saying the same thing, but it's been like lots of young girls buying skateboards, lots of guys in their kind of late teens to early 20s who'd never skated that wanted to skate, and then a whole bunch of people coming back to skating that are that like 25 through 40.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of that just like randomly online of like a lot of people picking it back up again. And like people in like their late 30s picking it back up again. I don't know if it's like I have more disposable income now, so I'm going to like buy some skateboards. But even like collectors or like whatever, I see people like, oh yeah, I just bought my first board to hold on to at like, like in their late 30s.
Yeah, I just think
people are like, everything goes in a, like it's a wave, so they're just bored. They need something to do. They don't know what else to do with their time. And I see, people are kind of becoming more health conscious, and they're like, I need to be outside. I need to be doing something.
skateboarding has definitely
Been relegated to just like another thing on the pile of things they do. It's not like they're that excited about the newest video. They need to buy product all the time. They're excited for a new shoe. It's just like, oh, cool, I want to go skateboarding. My friend, he got me to get back into skating, but they're not really interested in picking up where things are today. They're kind of still more back where they were last time they skated.
They're a person who owns a skateboard, not necessarily a skateboarder. Which, like, it's good to have that in a way, because you have these people that are just picking up random stuff and, putting money into it. But at the same time, like, where does that leave it 6 months or a year from now?
Yeah, and they're not buying
like a lot of gear. They're just buying a skateboard they might buy a shirt off the sale rack, or they might need a pair of skate shoes, maybe. But it's not. They're not super into the culture of skateboarding, and that's fine. That's just how it is. And I feel like the young kids aren't any different. So it's just realistically, it's the skate scene here is
it's doing okay.
but it's definitely not as strong as it was in the past.
Yeah, the few kids that I see around here are like very TikTok influenced, where it's like I'm seeing them making these, like, for me on the outside looking in, like these videos that I'm like cringing at. But I guess it's, kids their age are psyched on it, but it's just weird to us. At least they're skating.
They're like the 80s vert skaters now.
Yeah.
It was like, this street crap, and it's just, that's how I always see it now. It's just not understanding what, it's just different from when we were younger and what drew us to skating and what's out there now. And it's never going to be like how we would have had it. What is there, one magazine? If a kid even wants to read a magazine, there was just other outlets. Now it's just Instagram and, there's nothing to really, I guess with a magazine you had whatever per issue you had like 100 pages to be into.
Right.
Now
you would read it religiously, where like they have a constant feed of new things every day.
Yeah, and they can shoot off into this. Oh, this is cool. It could be the worst thing ever, but that's cool. But if the worst thing ever didn't have money to get into the magazine, you never would have saw it. If that makes any sense. And that's what...
Yeah, they're not as romantic
Romantic or interested about in skating is in the sense of like seeing what other people are doing. It's just, and that's cool. I think in some ways it's like been the simplest form of the act. They just want to go ride the skateboard and have fun, and there's no like agenda or like even inkling of like a path. Maybe their friends said they got something free once, but it's not like where everybody is like becomes hyper fixated on getting sponsored, and it's kind of refreshing. But then again, you don't see those people as frequently as maybe I would have in the past, where you could kind of create more of a like relationship with them, where you're like, oh, cool, like where you been skating? Did you go to the new DIY, or have you been to the new park that's opening, or whatever the spot is? But they definitely,
it's very group.
like they're only skating in a group. They're not like solitary individual skaters. They're skating with like 3 to 6 friends, and it's like, are all the friends going skating? And as long as all the friends are into it, then they maintain. So it's if anything, it's been an interesting social experiment just to watch everybody come and go and kids skate, and then you kind of get, if you watch, if I follow them on Instagram or something, I'll kind of see like their path, and that's always inspiring for me too, to be an elderly skater and try to stay into it.
Yeah, because it's cool, because sometimes you'll have that where like there's a crew of 5 or 6 kids, and then you'll see the 1 or 2 that'll stick with it, and they'll eventually get it. Like they'll eventually get into the culture and like go back and kind of like, or at least start to know who people are and things like that. It's like, I guarantee you, like most of these, like the kids that you see at the park now, like don't go back and watch old videos, even from like 10 years ago. It's like pros, they might know their names. They're not going back to watch like an old Tiago part or something.
But if anything, it just
Forces me to be like more involved at the store and try to do more cool stuff and be more engaged with everybody.
trying hard to like
Show them stuff, or be like, oh, have you seen this, or did you go to the new spot or whatever, or do you see this edit that so and so made? So it's like I just been like trying that much harder instead of being more. Sometimes when people are in, you try to give them their space. You don't want to like give them the zoomies mindset and scare them off or anything. But we try to engage with everybody that comes in and talk and chit chat. But it's I definitely try really hard now to like ask them what they're into or what they're doing, and just be more approachable as an old guy, and be less of a scary old guy and be more of like a, like I'm not trying. I am definitely interested in what they're all up to, trying to be more connected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that weird fine line of like, all right, I'm trying to present this to you, so it's, I'm not trying to shove it down your throat, but I'm just saying that, hey, this is here. If you want to know about it, I will gladly show it to you or explain it to you or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the funny part.
Or when I see the type of, like when you talk to them and see the products or something in the store, like whatever they gravitate towards, it's like,
I'm so curious.
It's what people even like anymore. Not just kids, but anybody when they come in, what they're even paying attention to.
Yeah, I've seen so much of that recently. Of like, I'll see people posting, boards that they've bought, or like, oh, I just set this up, and it's like, where the hell did you find a Matt Berger flip board? It's like
Yeah.
some random shit like that, and be like, this is awesome. And I'm like, I could drive to 16 shops, on the East Coast within the 2 hours of here, and I wouldn't find one of those anywhere.
Well, they're not going to the shops to get them.
Yeah.
This is when, I don't know. I don't want to be depressing, this is, but what is like a normal, like an average kid who would like come in and get, like, what board would they be like, I want a skateboard, and it could be anything, right? It's basically like whatever the picture is on the bottom.
I mean, like,
To be perfectly honest, it really depends. Like that's probably the most generic answer I could give, but man, it could range from them being hyper specific over one board they had seen, or just not knowing anything. And I a lot of people know just the basics, like red, black, white Baker logo board, or Anti-Hero Eagle, or they might know a brand or something. But yeah, it's like starts at least expensive option right now, and that's, I feel like, almost everybody. Whereas before, we would have a sale bin and it might get shopped a little bit, but now that's the first place every person starts, is like what's on sale. And then shop board would be next, but our shop board graphics are always been pretty basic. So I don't know, like, if they know they're good boards, they're BBS manufactured. So for the most part, it's those people know, and they just want a 35th board. But like you guys said, it's just a picture, and that's the wildest part to me, where there's no understanding of the brand or the team or anything. And that's the part where I try to, like, if someone's buying a board and I'm like, oh, did you know that this board is a remake of this graphic that this pro had? And I try to show them like the original. So I'm giving them the backstory as much as I can, if it's relevant to whatever they're buying. So I don't know, like, I'm trying to think. There was a couple specific ones. Oh yeah, someone was buying looking at a girl board, and they were looking at a Simon Bannerow board, and it was my friend on Instagram. His name's Lord Giz, and he does art for girl. He's done a few series. So I showed him his Instagram really quick and showed him all the boards, and he got so excited about the art and it was like,
cool. Like,
I just created this connection to the product. He's excited. It's relatable. The guy at the skate shop took the time to tell him the story. That's what I hope for every time, is like, how do I, like, create the interest in product again, right? Because that's really the detach right here. The disconnect for skateboarding is like, there's no one, like, we're interested in product. We get excited when something comes out. You're like, oh, that's a cool board, or like, oh, that's a throwback to this. But man, most of these kids, it's like the board is the last thing on their mind, as long as it's like the size that they think they need.
So crazy.
So is there like obviously, like, when we were younger, it was like, oh, this guy is the local pro. It's like the look, like, just, is there like kids that come in like knowing, like, you hear the legend, not legend, but like, the talk around the town of like, oh, this dude's, like, Simon's doing whatever. Did kids come in knowing that?
it depends on
The demographic, and it depends, like, the age. Like, younger kids, it's more about who's at the skate park that they know, and then who's on Instagram local that they know.
little older than
They're aware, but it's really, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, say that it matters or it doesn't matter, but there's like a couple, like one of the guys that I skate with, Tom Britt, he's just a ripping skater, a nice guy, jumps down big stuff, had a huge kickflip in the quarter snacks, top 10 last month, maybe it's 2 months ago. But like, people will like talk about Tom, or talk about they saw the edit that maybe someone made, and it's like, it's just relatable. Or maybe there's a DIY that we were working on for a while that we would all skate there and then be like, oh, cool, I saw you guys skating the DIY, that was sick, so it's way more relatable in person, versus like, I don't think that many people are really even watching skating, like, in the sense of like watching it's like they'd rather watch something like this, people talking about skating, than actually watching people skate, which is even weirder to me. But
That's where we're at.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it translated to like them seeing him around or whatever.
It might.
but I don't know if it really, like, I feel like it might be more of a drive to like see one of the shop me or the shop guys out skating and be hyped and come to the shop and buy something, versus it being to the next level up where it's like, I feel like in your guys' zone, people are way more into skating and maybe even a little, I'll say maybe a lot better at skating in general. Like the general consensus of skaters on the East Coast, I feel like the level is much higher. And out here, it's like, oh, this guy, he did a good kickflip down this drop and he was nice. Think I'm going to go to the shop and see if I can find that brand of board, maybe. And if not, I'll just buy the cheapest thing I can get. Whereas out there, you guys have a bunch of, man, it feels like everybody's good out there, but maybe just perception is one thing, you know?
Yeah, but I think that also goes back to like the personality of it too. Like where if, you know, somebody's a little more engaging with a random person when they come across them than somebody who's like quiet and like, yeah, they're super good at skating, but if they don't talk to anyone or like, you know, they're just kind of like in their zone, it definitely affects like the product end of it. Like even if you are somebody that pays attention to product, like if I meet somebody that's cool and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go grab that guy's board next.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's way different. All right, so we can take this time machine back. So, like, first skating, like, I remember my, gosh, I'm just thinking of my first board. Like, my whole thing was, I bought my first board off of seeing Tony Hawk in Sports Illustrated for Kids. That was my first board. I went in, like, blinders on, I'm getting a Tony Hawk. And that was it, because I saw it in Sports Illustrated for Kids, and that was all I knew. And then, magazines and stuff from there. And then, there was kids at school, and you start kind of learning a little more. Not like that anymore. This is crazy. Like, I can't believe how much overall skating has changed. And, like, there's still skating, there's still stuff, but it's just not... Is it too accessible now, maybe, too? Like, parks and everything? Like, we didn't have parks when I was a kid.
Or even just the information wasn't available. Like, when I first got my first board, like somebody gave me a deck and I had to go to a hobby shop and buy trucks and wheels and stuff. And I think I told you this before, like I went to this hobby shop because I didn't even know what a skate shop was. And I bought indies and these like weird random think wheels, but the dude only sold me 4 bearings because he didn't know what he was doing and neither did I. So then I got it home and it didn't work and I was like freaking out that I couldn't figure it out. And that's when like the kids I wanted to skate with told me like, oh, go to this store in the city. Like my dad works on cars and like they're friends with this guy. So then I went to Sub-Zero and got like a real setup. Cause it was just like, this is dumb. Like none of this works. So it's like, I bought, bearings down there. They put the wheels on for me. I wound up buying a new board instead.
That's so cool.
I'm trying to figure out how someone only sold you 4 bearings. Like it must have been like in bulk or something, because that's like such a funny.
Yeah, they were loose individual bearings.
Were they German or NMB?
I think they were NMBs. But yeah, it was like, Steve, did they have Allied Hobbies on Long Island?
No.
So it was like, they sold literally like model trains and all that crap. And there was just it was like a little store in this like strip mall right by my house. And somebody told me they sold skateboard parts in there. So I went in there and was like, oh yeah, look, here's trucks. And like, I knew what independent was just from like looking at, magazines or whatever. So I got those. And then I was like, I don't know, those wheels look cool. Because the guy didn't have a clue. He's like, oh, they're all the same, just pick one. And I had this used SMA Paul Sharp board that I tried to skate.
That's actually pretty cool, Mitch.
Yeah, it was like some weird like a circus horizontal graphic. But it was like beat to shit. But this dude, it's funny. I just saw this guy has like a Facebook account. The guy that like gave me my first board, and I almost want to DM him and be like, "Dude, you changed my fucking life. Like, you have no idea. You just like gave me a deck just because, but it literally like changed everything. Like, I don't know that I would have like picked up skating if this guy hadn't opened that door. But it was one of the things where like I was a freshman and he was a senior and was just happened to be cool to me, and I'm like, oh, this dude's sick. Like, whatever. He's like, oh, here, take this. Like, see if you can get the stuff for it and like go skating, like learn about it.
We talk about that moment
all the time at the shop where you do this thing that might be just an everyday, like to me, you know, like my default is to help everybody. So this guy broke his board. This guy needs bushings. Oh man, your bearing broke. Someone left an old setup at the shop. I distribute that stuff. I try to hook people up that need it, that, you know, and I'm like, oh, here you go. But like to that kid, man, that could be everything. Like that could be like, damn, I just changed the whole direction of his life. Or like maybe I'm the first human that he's ever interacted with that took the time to be cool and actually do something nice for somebody instead of the default kind of dickhead attitude that I dealt with at the skate shop I went to, or just the skate scene that I grew up in general, where there was nobody helping me. There was no, you know, like the default attitude was like, nah. Like, whereas to me, I got boards in my trunk. I got wheels. I got bearings. If someone needs something, it's not like I'm trying to come up. It's just all I want to do is just bring more people to skating. That's all I care about.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're fortunate enough to be in a place where we can kind of look out for that next, you know, you see somebody who's, you know, in the struggle or whatever, or just needs something. And it's like, there could be a reason that you haven't bought a new board or maybe you just haven't gotten around to it. But if I can give you a board or whatever, like to keep you skating, I'm going to do it.
It's funny you said that. I was at my friend's birthday the other day. He had a birthday party. And I went down and I ran into somebody there who was a younger kid. And it was funny because we were talking and I was like, oh, you're only like 35 years old. You know, I'm thinking like, holy shit, the first time I met you, then that must have been super weird. We were skating at some spot and I must have been like, you know, maybe like 28, 29, 30. So this kid was probably like 17, you know, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting one there, you know. But he was filming. I remember he was filming and he had like 45 millimeter wheels, not even like his wheels were just like worn down. And I was like, you know, like, you always film? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, here, take some wheels, you know. And of course, my used wheels, they were probably like 49s. They were like insanely like worn down. Covers. It was just like, really? And I was like, yeah. And you know, it's funny too. Like, you sure? And I'm like, dude, nobody will ever take my old wheels because they're so small anyway. But these are like quadruple the size of it. I was like, do you want 2 sets? Like, let me just, you know, I'm never going to find anybody who can use these. So this is great. But he still skates to this day, which was pretty cool. You know, fast forward about 17, 18 years, he's still skating. But
well, that's even when like Pat was getting married. It's like I just officiated like our homie's wedding, and I had to go like it was like a destination. We were in like North Carolina or whatever, but I had to go down there and like meet all of his wife's friends, and I'm explaining like I'm, you know, 13 years older than this dude, but I'm like, oh yeah, I used to take him out skating when he was like 14 and I was like in my 20s. I was like, but it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird because he was just, you know, that kid that I met. I'm like, oh, he's kind of good. Like, let me try and look out for him a little bit. And I knew his family and stuff, so it wasn't like I'm just grabbing some random kid off the street. But yeah, we would like take him on like random road trips with us, and his mom would like write a permission slip so I could take him to a hospital if something happened. But it's just funny, like looking back at it, like if you're not in the skate culture, like that's super weird. But for us, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's just the next generation of kids that you kind of look out for.
I keep running into these stories like that. Like I have plenty of them, like of all the kids I would like take out skating and show skate parks and skate spots even before I started at the shop. And it's like all of us that are still skating, it's like I don't think we don't know how to not be supportive of any like new skaters when you see that like that kind of passion or interest in it. I mean, that's probably why the store is still going, because I can't not see it. You know, just like some of the kids that work at the shop now, they're so into they're fans of skating. So when I see the fan of skating, I just have to like grab it and pull it with me and be like, come on, like come with me. I'm going to teach you about this. So
yeah, it's a lot of history, a lot of stuff. And, you know, I wonder too, how much of it is intriguing to people and how much of it isn't, but it's cool when something is, you know, is intriguing to them, and you get that person who's going to, oh, I'll at least watch it, and you know, I'll humor you but you know that they go and see it and ask questions about, like, I had somebody ask me about Impossibles the other day, And they're like, that was like around in 90 to 91. And I was like, yeah, it sounds about right when they started. And, and then I'm like, they were like, I was like, hold on, I can watch some videos. I'll get back to you. I'll send you some links for some impossible people, which, Dave, I guess I can ask you this one while you're here too. So besides like Templeton, were there any other main like impossible guys you can think of?
Chris Hall did a lot of them in the New Deal video, but they weren't super wrapped. But he would do like that was like someone I watched a lot of where I was just like man, yeah, under was it Underworld Element as well? But maybe it was just the New Deal video. He definitely did a lot of variations. John Montesi. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, that was like such. That was just the trick in that one era, 90, 91. It was like impossible, late shove it. When everything changed to pressure flips, it got kind of funky, but I wanted to keep up, so I learned those too. But yeah, impossible. I'm trying to think who else. Pat Brennan he did front foot impossible and regular impossible. That was in Celebrity Tropical Fish, and I watched that video a bunch. The first one I saw was Chet Thomas, Public Domain. He did it off the little stage. It's kind of a funky little montage. And I think it's him, Ray Barbie, and there's kind of someone talking over it. And then they're all skating and doing tricks up and off of this little, I don't even know, but he does one. I think he's riding a blue Tony Hawk board. And I remember watching that one. I was like, what did he do? How did this board wrap around? And it wasn't like a true wrap. It was more like, probably more how mine look today, where it's like a 3-shove versus like a Dylan Reeder, Jason Dill, like impossible. But yeah, I'm trying to think about all the videos.
One of the ones I told him there was Jason Dill in A1 Meets Dancing in the Dirt. Jason Dill does a lot of them in that.
Yeah, I had that
VHS. I have
you
to
have
go back
it? Did you just say you have it?
Yeah. No,
that's a good one.
Selling it.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take that from you.
Did you see him start to salivate?
Well, imagine that they have copies of it. I lost a bid on one of those. It was it was up for like $30 or something, and I didn't bid on it. I forgot, so I lost it. That was such a good video. And Damian Carbajal, in Not the New H Street video, he does a lot of them.
He did it with his foot all the way on the nose, which I thought was always random, instead of like on the front bolts. And that's how I learned them, is when your foot is all the way on the edge of the nose, and so your board's flexing, and then you scoop it that hard. That's when I learned it, and then I figured out how to do it with putting my front foot on my truck bolts. I got to think about all the impossiblers back then, because it was kind of the hot trick for a while, so I feel like almost a lot of people probably did them.
And Mitch, I'll give you this one. Ricky Oyola in Z Devastation does a lot of them. I went down this rabbit hole of watching videos from 91, and
it's funny. By the time I started skating, those were passe. Nobody did those. Yeah,
I remember that was tricks had trend. They were, like you said, Dave. It was late shove-its. It was those. Then it went to pressure flips and late flips, and gosh, there was the hot tricks for the era. I guess eventually later on, switch hard flip was that trick,
Well, cool trick. The cool part of skating too is where that's what we all did. We all chased the next. We abandoned what we learned, kind of. Maybe not necessarily abandon it, but there were tricks where you're just nope, we don't do that anymore. We only do this. We don't like this trick anymore. We only like this trick, and I feel like that's. It finally
ended. Gone.
Yeah, you just do whatever you want. You do it all. You could do boneless. You could do back 360. You could do everybody's nose blunting or blunt sliding. There's nothing is off the table. But it's for a long time we would just learn a trick, and then the whole thing changed for probably 5 to 10 years. That's all we did was chase the next trick.
So we were talking about those moments that you'll kind of never forget. So we used to always skate this mall parking lot at night. Friday nights, that was the destination. Every skater in Northeast Philly would be at this one spot. And I'll never forget this. One guy came up, and we'd always heard people say talk about him, but we never actually seen him come around. And he was probably a couple years older than us. But he showed up and was doing those, like, he could do those impossibles that you're talking about where, like, his front foot's, like, all the way on the nose and, like, did that pressure wrap. And, like, since nobody was really doing those at that point, we'd never seen anybody do one. So our minds we're like, what the hell was that? Like, it just looked so crazy when you've never seen anyone do it before, especially, like, when you really wrap them like that. We were just, it's like, I'll never forget this, but no, like, you can't forget that because it's just, it, like, makes no sense. Like, I've seen people do every flip trick in some way, but this was, like, a whole different thing.
Yeah, in a
Similar vein, I was going to say, we had this spot in downtown Tacoma that we would skate. It was a parking garage, and on a Saturday, there would be like 50 or 60 people skating there. Then Steve Olson, he would be there quite frequently. And then there was a couple other skaters, Dan Hessler, who he rode for Osiris and Arcade at one point. And then Yoshi Obayashi would be there. Joe McClellan, who also rode for Maple. So you would have this like melting pot of all these great skaters. Lee Peterson would be there sometimes. Josh Beagle came and stayed with Steve probably, and they would all skate there. And you would go and see in a similar, you'd be like, what's
that trip? He like did a big spin with a heel flip.
Or like in when all of the crazy, I remember Steve trying fakie flip to fakie crooked grind, backside and like not knowing what he was doing because I'd never seen anybody do that before. And Steve, he was such a different guy, had big afro and he had like a bolo tie and a purple silk shirt and big cutoff dyed size 44 pants, but like that was the era of skating kind of like learning and growing. But yeah, I think every city probably has that spot where it's like, oh damn, skating is literally being progressed right now in this space. We just don't even realize like that it's happening.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think, Steve, did you ever go to Eatontown?
No, someone asked me. That's funny. Someone was asking me about all that stuff, and that came up, and I was like, Eatontown, I never went to. We would go to Hackettstown. We would go to Drop-In. I don't know if you remember Drop-In, but we would go to those. But no, Eatontown, never.
Yeah, I only got to go once. I know Mike and those guys went a couple times, but
that's like the hockey rink looking thing.
Yeah, the roller rink that they would like randomly set up stuff in. It's like once a month or something.
That's like from like I want to say Peep This or Heads, one of those they skated in the ESTs. Like,
yeah, I want to say there's tricks from it in Eastern Exposure too.
Eastern Exposure 3, Tim O'Connor and Quim Cardona skate there.
Yeah,
yeah.
On the flat bar that's kind of on the side of. Damn, that's so cool. Yeah, man, that I loved all of those clips like that. I don't know, it just stood out to me because I watched that video, hundreds of times. But yeah, I was like, damn, he kickflip 50 to flat bar. That was the first time I'd ever seen that.
Yeah, the helmet on. So random that it was at this roller rink.
Yeah, that stuff was cool. Like I do miss having that stuff. We even here there was some like I remember I was so against it, but these people on like it was like a Monday night or Tuesday night they'd go skate this overhung like curb spot. I remember I was like, I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to go, but it was cool to get out, like to know I'd skate during the winter, like at least one weeknight a week. And you'd see like probably 40, 50 people. This is only going back a few years. And like,
I'm thinking you were talking about like being a kid.
No, we had like, I remember we had like the church group they had like a skate park behind one of these places.
Yeah, they have.
When I was younger, that was a thing though, but like, so you go there on a Friday night. But no, like recently, and it was like, wow, there's all these people skating, whether I like them or not. It was cool to see even people my age, older, still skating. And it was like, oh, cool. Everybody just still likes skating. I don't know. It was cool to see. And then,
yeah, I actually think it's cool that those Antics guys in Jersey they do like every Monday night, they have this rec center that lets them like take over the one basketball court and they just set up ramps and stuff and have like a thing where they can get that whole community to like skate together, not just at like the skate park or whatever. But I feel like it sucks they keep getting rained out every Monday.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's skating. It's forever evolving, and I'm always happy that I started when I started, and keep it going. It's cool that there's still people into it, and it's I don't know. I'm sounding depressing now.
No, but like you guys have seen multiples of this wave of like. It's not cool again, and it's like not booming like it was. And like you saw like the end, you guys were there for like the end of the 80s, early 90s kind of
2000s. It was like a 7-year. I remember it was like a 7-year cycle was always like the term that skating had. Because I even wonder if skating as a whole, I mean, it might be bigger now than it ever was. I mean, it's in the Olympics. It's, all these corporate shoot things and whatnot. Like, so that aspect of it might be, but like actually being a professional skateboarder could probably be even worse than it ever was now.
Yeah. I feel like the Olympics thing is really just because the average like younger person doesn't give a shit about the Olympics.
No.
The Olympics used to do crazy numbers for TV and marketing and all this stuff and like advertising, and now like I don't know, there's so many parts of it. Like there's definitely not like national pride like there was of like, yeah, go America. So it's like there's already so much dissension that like people aren't like, gearing up to rock their red, white, and blue t-shirts and watch the Olympics. It's like, so they have to the Olympic Committee has to do something to try and get younger people in to watch it. And it's just it didn't happen like they thought it was going to, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I also think too that skating's so crazy now to like get into it, to see that and then be like, I want to do that. And then you try to do that and you're like, whoa, I'm like, this is not happening. If that's your reason for getting into it, just to see what's going on. Like if you get into it like, oh, I saw basketball in the Olympics, you could play basketball and shoot a layup or whatever. But skating's hard. And that just looks so insane to get from A to B to get to that.
Yeah, honestly, when I see a kid pick it up now and like try and stick with it, I'm impressed. Because like we said, the immediate gratification of everything else that they get in their lives is like, skating, like you said, skating's fucking hard.
Well, on a more positive note, Dave, have you seen any new videos lately? Anything you'd like? Did you watch the hockey video?
I did. I watched it
a bunch of times, but I tended to turn it off at Andrew Allen after his part. I don't know. I'm not much of a Ben Cato fan, and I like Nick Stain, but it's not really my style music wise. But I mean, I just like to see the new videos. I want to see everything. I don't know. I can't help it. I feel like it's my job anyway, so I better be paying attention. But I also just am like, you got to bring stuff up, talk to people, be engaged. But mostly I just like to see, okay, where's fashion going? Okay, what's the trick trend going? And what's the new, is there a new movement where everybody flocks to this new trick or style? And so I did watch it. I
would like to hear your
take on it more than my take.
Did you
watched it? There was it was crazy. I guess Andrew Allen's into motorcycles now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was crazy. It's crazy to me thinking like that he skates, because he does not look like he skates, and that's kind of what's cool about it. I'm just picturing like seeing that dude on the street, and like it's just like that guy has a skateboard. But it was sick. He's really reinvented himself really well.
I went back and watched
one of his old 4-on-1 parts, and it's crazy how different his body looks and how his whole approach to skating is different.
Yeah, his stance is different.
Yeah.
He used to be on. Do you remember when he was on Legacy? That was like Dwindle's attempt at like Zero.
Yeah, like Mumford's company.
Yeah.
I don't remember him on there,
but I do remember Legacy.
Yeah, he was on Legacy. I remember he'd like switch front side, board slide, like 12 stair rails or something back then. Like he was like a switch rail skater. And super generic, like shaved head, crew cut, plain shirt, like dark green shirt, jeans, like super generic looking. And he would just switch skate rails. So it's really wild. And then he had that 1-4-1 part that was really sick. He just skated ditches.
Is that the one where
he big flips a double set in it too. I shouldn't say just skates.
And lands on the last step, and Jake Phelps says he disastered the last step. Is that a trick? That was the intro? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always been. But even then he was like hammer dude, like big stuffs, and it's cool he's over his career and he's, adapted, because it's interesting to watch. I think it's pretty cool. He was sick. Diego Todd was amazing.
Yeah.
That was mind-blowing to me. He was so good.
Yeah, he's gotten so much better. Like, he was always good, but like, even like in my interest in him is like, I find him way more interesting now.
Yeah. It was like, this isn't over yet. And it like kept coming. And it was like, holy Jesus, this is insane. Yeah. And then there was that little weightlifter kid, the Mossberg kid. I didn't care about him.
Bruce, come on. He did some really gnarly stuff. He did that like
Yeah.
He looked like a little weightlifter.
But if I could
He
go
looked like
back,
he had his own weightlifting infomercial.
wow. He's just
Yeah,
he's a stocky kid. I like his style. Like, he skates how I wish I could skate. Like the sick wally he does, like he wallies into the hubba down. It's like kind of like off the stairs into the hubba. I thought that was really cool. Like some death defying, like pole jam, wally stuff and big stuff. I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. And I was highly impressed.
I'm happy somebody was. See, it's all there for a reason. It doesn't matter if I'm Dave just bought 10 hockey boards off that kid, and I bought 2 off of Andrew Allen.
Well, I guess
When I watch a video like that, and then like watch that video, and then I've already forgotten the name of the East Coast video we were talking about before we started.
Free game.
Free game.
Big
So
money.
like,
What was it called?
free game.
Pre-game.
but when you watch those two
Videos, it's like they're both current and both styles of skating are current, but you have one video where it's like heavy trick, right? It's like heavy trick, heavy progression, and then the other video is heavy image, heavy spot, heavy approach. So not that there aren't tricks in the hockey video, but it's like they're both current and both really good. I just wonder how I just wonder how people view both of them. Do they hold them in the same caliber of skating? Do they think like does a harder trick in an easier spot get more respect than a simple trick at a crazy spot filmed in a cool way, cool music, cool outfit? Like that's what I debate all the time. Like which holds more weight? No pun intended.
Yeah. I'll rewatch a Tim Savage video 100 times. That hockey video, I'll watch once, appreciate what it is, and probably never watch it again. But that's just that, like the music and all that stuff is just not the skating that I'm super into. Like, if I never see another Ben Kadow clip again, I'm good. But like that 50-50 on that brown bar was gnarly. Like, he's very good at what he does, but it is not appealing to me whatsoever. I got into it with Steve's boy Fusilli Grind because he was saying that like Nick should not have had last part, and it was like he was too into himself, and it shouldn't have been that long. It was like the part's good, but yes, there's a lot. It's long. It's like there could have been some stuff that was cut, I'm sure, but it was still a really heavy part. But yeah, John Fitzgerald's part was good.
I'm sure Joe Campos
Would have probably had last part if he wouldn't have left for Violet. That's probably why. I'm just reaching here. I don't know, but I'm guessing that would be why Nick Stain's part was so long and they had to fill in that space. And I think Joe Campos was probably supposed to be last part, but I'm not trying to bring Nick Stain skating down because I think he does some really cool stuff, but it's not, just like you said, most of the video isn't for you. That it doesn't really generate much for me beyond just respecting it for skill.
Yeah, I think I just have such limited time to consume a skate video that like I don't really watch much more than once. Like I'm sure if I was at a shop all day, I'd be like, oh, I'll put this on while I'm doing whatever, and then you kind of pick up more of it as it repeats. But like I said, if I'm going to go back and like, oh, let me rewatch this, I'm definitely like when Tim's video Grace came out, dude, I must have watched that 40 times. I would just like put it on before we were going skating because I just really enjoyed like
I love that
together and his filming and the editing style and all that stuff. So when Free Game came out, I was like, oh, I got to watch this. And then I watched it, a couple times that week just to kind of appreciate some of the stuff that's in it.
And the funny thing was,
I wouldn't consider myself a DGK fan, but damn, after watching Will's part,
stop lying. Dave's lying. Bullshit meter is all the way over.
Dave all day.
Dave had his before he came on. He had his Kool-Aid, purple Kool-Aid shirt on.
but I watched that part and I was like, damn, DGK is pretty cool. I mean, I was surprised by the type of skating and that it didn't fit into like a cookie cutter mold I kind of had in my head. You know, like it's pretty. They seem like they have a pretty cool squad with just a couple of skaters in the video. But yeah, I mean, the whole video had a bunch of guest tricks, plenty of other people in there that had really cool skating, things I wasn't expecting. Lots of ledge combos, things for me to look at and try to pick some little thing from it. Maybe I could learn or apply to a spot here.
Yeah, Steve doesn't like Suchu, but that Suchu like Copley line where he like goes up and down the ledges is crazy.
Yeah, I'll bet his knees touched 27 times. Dave, have you ever had a kid come into your shop saying, I need a Mark Suchu board, where are they?
His shoe definitely had fans, and people would say they wanted a Suchu shoe.
Stop.
But for
really?
real? Well,
the
okay.
shoe. His shoe.
Yeah, yes, but
not his board.
I mean, when he won SOTY, I definitely had people ask.
Really? Okay, because I don't even think here. Like, he was living in New York, I don't think anybody asked.
People talk about him a lot. People are fans. I don't think he's the type of skater that necessarily moves product. You know, he's like, I don't want to put him in the same category as this skater I'm about to say. I'm just paralleling them for the basically that they didn't move product. But Jeremy Ray was somebody who I would watch skate, an amazing skater, but I don't think he necessarily moved people to buy a lot of his boards. I think people would watch his skating and be like, wow, amazing skater. I love Jeremy Ray. I would probably buy Element logo board over buying Jeremy Ray's Element board when he was on Element, maybe. But
yeah,
that's just my take. You know, when I watch things and I watch skaters, I'm always like, damn, does that guy sell boards? Like, how does he make a living?
So honestly, like Habitat in the last few years has done zero interesting things. Like, I can't tell you the last time I saw a Habitat graphic that I was like, oh, that's cool.
When was the last time you've seen a Habitat graphic?
Well, I mean, they sell them here because of
Do they?
I mean, like Nocturnal, I'm sure has them. Like
Tyler Dietrich was on.
Yeah, Tyler Dietrich's on them, and Joey and Kevin, and so there's alien presence here.
Yeah,
they just had Joe
Juicy on a podcast, Beyond Boards, and they referenced some of the like series that he did, and he talked about doing Bob's Burgers, and I was just like, dude, you guys already maybe need a little help. Like, if anything, you're just shooting yourselves in the other foot. You've already shot yourself in the foot with some, like, I don't know, you're like in Santa Cruz territory with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it all just blends together. It's not
Pink Floyd,
Pink Floyd, yeah.
The Twin Peaks mugs, like, I mean, that's when I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is the point of even keeping this brand around if this is what you're doing with it?
Well, they had
Taurus for just a second, and then he got poached over to FA. Not that he fit Habitat, but I was like, damn, this guy is an amazing skater. If they can get him and some of his buddies, maybe Habitat will kind of change. But you could just see it's like you couldn't be trying to fit a square peg in a round hole any more than trying to keep him on Habitat. It was definitely kind of awkward.
Yeah. I don't even know, aside from like Silas and Suchu, I don't even know who else is on Habitat.
Ayla,
Marius,
Cal Costa, whatever his name is. That dude's really good, actually. You guys don't know who I'm talking about?
I do.
I saw them on their Instagram. I do know who you're talking about.
He's really good. Makes no sense he's on Habitat, but he's super good.
Yeah, it's just I just picture like these very generic like green boards with like a leaf on it. Like that's every
like they've even given
seen.
up on that. It's
yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like Suchu is just like his skating does enough for him, but like you said, he's probably just not somebody that moves product.
Do you guys think it's weird
that Quasi Habitat and Alien Workshop are all distributed by the same place?
Is that happening? Did that happen now?
It did happen.
It's been happening for a month.
Yeah. So
okay, but do you think that Quasi's going to end up like taking them over? Like, we need to move Humanic onto Alien because we're never going to put one like.
I don't think so.
I'm so wishful of all that, because I think if anything's going to save those two, like I feel like Alien kind of came back a little when they redid those dip boards. Like I never saw anybody skating those boards until those.
I saw a lot of them around here.
Yeah, and it's like, so that was kind of cool. You got Joey O'Brien, who's like totally grown on me now.
They got rid of Frankie Villani. Win.
Yeah,
not Frankie Villani.
Frankie Spears is gone.
Sorry.
I was like, ouch, but no.
Yeah. Sorry, wrong Frankie.
Yeah, he's gone. So that's a plus. And then it's like, if they could tie them together, I probably said this already on here, but it's like if they did like a quasi edit, and then inside of it, like almost like a trilogy or one of those videos like that, like a distribution video, and tied them together, it kind of could make the other two cooler, being associated to quasi.
I think the weird thing that
They just did that I can't get over is they put out all this photosynthesis stuff, and I'm like, guys, there's nobody on Alien Workshop that was in this video. This is really weird to me. Like I'm just like, if I'm Dill or Ave or somebody, I would just be like, what the fuck? Like, why do you guys want to promote? Like, I get this is your heritage, and maybe, and I think I understand why they did it, but like from a skate fan's perspective, it just feels weird. It would be like,
very forced.
Yeah, there's so many parallels I could make between different brands and like videos or like promoting like a past aesthetic, but
I think that Alien
Workshop is lucky they have a strong aesthetic to a certain group of people, and no matter what, an Alien Workshop board with like some kind of callback to their heritage is going to sell. So it almost doesn't even matter who's on the team.
Well, I think Alien Workshop, definitely they don't need a team. I don't think their team...
But I think they benefit from a team, but they could, right? Because when it first came back through Tomieto, it didn't have a team. They literally just made graphic logo boards. And it did well enough that they evolved it into having a team again.
And then they had the Honda Element. Oh my god, that was so bad. It does seem like even like I remember I was like, I wish I could find a Vote Pro clone board, and they brought it back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, they're bringing back those, like, it's an easy one to bring back, but I thought it was kind of cool. Like, it almost got me to buy one to skate.
I ordered that and
almost bought it.
Yeah. There's a couple they'll do like that, and it's like, fuck. Like,
oh, yeah, if they would do like boards, the mouse with the big needle.
Yeah. Yeah. But the dip boards, even like, Joey O'Brien's board comes in an 8. Like, I'm
looking for it. I'm sorry to disrupt the pod.
Better be.
No, but like this isn't even the first time with that photosynthesis thing. Like the Aliens done that. Remember they ran those
sheeple
original like the models of like the frog with the arrow and all that shit, like the match guy, and they did them the first time without the pro's name on them. And then there was they got a bunch of shit for it, so then they re-released them again with the pro's name on it and actually paid them for it.
I feel like that's
Habitat was I thought they were gonna come back because they did a Tim O'Connor board. Wenning was skating. I was like, like you're reclaiming those customers right now. The people that in Habitat still is that to them, but it just kind of fell apart, I guess. And I don't know. I don't really think about it. I still think Stefan Janowski is a great skater. He still rips. I like to see his switch flips. He still does a really good switch kick flip. He has really nice tray flips. But beyond that, I might order a board if I was like, oh, that looks like someone who's new to skating might buy it. But in this zone, I don't.
Or somebody that's coming back.
Yeah.
That's somebody that's been gone for 10 years and it's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to buy a board. Oh, Stefan still has a board? All right, I had those shoes.
I had somebody I know did that. They the kid started skating again. This was maybe like 10 years ago, but he had a Habitat board. And I was like, Habitat board? I was like, that's not like what it used to be. Oh, really? I didn't know. And I was like, holy shit, but he bought it because that's what he knew when he stopped skating in, 04, or whatever, like Habitat.
I see people in Carrie's comments all the time about like, oh, gets Habitat, I had this, I had your board, blah, blah, blah. Like always, like whenever he posts skating again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuff was popular.
Yeah,
Now
that
it's
was
not.
one of those high eras where it was like we talked about those dying out eras, but shit, when Habitat first launched, that was like
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah. And I'm sure you were in the forefront of it. You were right in Philly.
Shit, when I heard that everybody was quitting their sponsors to start this new board company, I was like blown away.
Man. Dave, what are you skating these days?
That is a great.
Question.
A Habitat Mark suit shoe?
With Royal trucks and Dark Star wheels. No, I'm trying to figure that out. I guess what my setup would be. I skated today. I skated one of our shop boards, and I'm skating the new Thunder T2 truck. Would you like me to grab
Now,
it?
yeah,
Well,
and
yeah, I
I
was saying, I'd love to
wouldn't
hear what
actually
you think
mind if
about
you
that
gave a
truck.
rundown on those.
Yeah, let me-
What happened? What was there?
My
A
board.
T1?
I don't know. Let me grab my board, and then we'll give me one sec.
That's what I was curious about because I was like, "There's a new Thunder. What's so new Thunder about it?"
There you go. Yep. And
Fancy.
Rails on my board. I'm sure I'm driving you nuts right now, and probably half of your viewers.
Well, you know what? I've been watching so many '90s videos lately that like I'm immune to that. You don't laugh. Both of you don't laugh, but I had for like 2 minutes. I was like, "Wow, maybe I should set up like an old school board." Mitch got me a Jeremy Klein JK Industries with the vegetable guy on it a while ago, and I almost thought like maybe I'd set that up and like set up like a curbish setup. I can't believe I'm saying this, but and I was like, maybe I could just cruise around on it and just to see, and then I was like, no, I can't do that.
if I'm being transparent,
Transparent, I'm 51. I've been skating since the 80s. Sometimes
I can pop my board.
and I feel good and I can skate for 2 hours. And, I do a lot to maintain that. I do a lot of working out and other things to keep my body going. But sometimes I just want to go do some board slides and feel like I'm on my board and be lazy. And, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to do a slappy crook, regular or switch or a board slide or a feeble grind. But then it's like, damn, I had fun today. Like, so I don't always want to be in cosplay land where I'm like trying to have like this perfect 90s setup, I guess, and then
Mm-hmm.
curb skating kind of has a stigma to me right now too, where, hey, everybody skate how they want, skate whatever board they want. It doesn't matter to me, but I don't need a 13-inch wide board with giant trucks and 48 millimeter wheels. And, I'm still trying to skate at the highest level I'm capable of. And I feel like my skating is kind of a melding of eras anyways, like I love Jason Adams. He's one of my favorite skaters. I love Ricky Oyola. He's one of my favorite skaters. I'll smash them together and do some tray flips and try and skate some pull jams. And then I'll go skate a double-sided curb. Why I can have a setup for both of those things. I have I have a couple setups. I have basically every size. So I have 825, 838, 85, 875, 9 popsicle, and then I have a couple shaped boards set up. But I feel like I just been sticking to I did ride 9-inch yesterday for a little bit, had some big wheels on it, some 58s, and we were skating around the city, and I wasn't planning on doing anything or flipping my board. And then we went to a spot and we were just kind of warming up and I was like, oh, I'm going to ride my A5, and I was flipping it and stuff and feeling pretty good. And, it just depends on the mood, I guess. But, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with my setups. I always have I think I'm permanent setup madness. I can't escape it.
It's funny. I tried for the longest time to only have my board because I would get into that like, oh, well, I like this more. So then I mess around with this. And like, then I go back to my board and I would feel crazy. But like before we started recording, I was talking about how I set up one of those 775 pop war boards, and it's so fun. Like it's dumb, and I feel like I could break it at any second, but it's just fun to have something different. To like, I'm riding like Steve's low trucks, so it's like such a different world, but it's fun to do. You're like you said, it's like just to change it up and not just do the same thing all the time is also really fun.
So a few weeks ago,
Maybe it was whatever the release of the Reynolds New Balance shoe was.
Mhm.
we're supposed to get some shoes for one of my guys to film some clips in. Britt, he gets flowed shoes by New Balance, and then they didn't send him a pair of the gray Reynolds shoe. They sent me a pair. So then I'm like, because I want to try and have a clip. If we're gonna do like a shoe drop, I think it's cool to like have something to post. It generates more interest. People feel it's like, oh, cool, those guys are skating the shoe, like their team rider or whatever. So then I've got this pair, and I'm like, and then like I was like, I'm just gonna post the shoes, and they're like, why don't you just go to the spot and try and get a clip tonight in them and see if you can get something to post. And I'm like, I'm not posting myself on the shop's Instagram. Like you're gonna have to make the post. I'm not gonna do that. But we went and I skated, and like I tried to do this just like a slappy crook on this ledge and tray flip, and that tray flip, I was riding an 8.5 and it damn near killed me just trying to do a tray flip off the sidewalk. The reason I tell that story is because it really got my brain thinking about my setup, and I'm like, okay, when I was flipping my board the most, what was I skating? And I was skating an 8-inch wide board and like Indy 139s and 52s, and
I might sell it up.
just to see what it's like, and if maybe I'd get used to it.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I went to 775, which is bigger than I would have skated. I was on 775 for like a year recently. I just bumped up because I was mostly on 762. When I learned most of my tricks, 20-something years ago, I was riding a 7.6, board, and that's what most of my stuff was on. So I went back down to that, but now I went back up because sometimes it's like, then, you have that one bad day and you're like, oh, this board's too small. I need a wider board or something. And, that's when the craziness starts. But, it's always the board. It's never me.
Yeah, but this is my main setup.
I guess I think for size 12, 8.5 feels pretty good for most of my tricks. But yeah, you said talk about the Thunder trucks. So we'll
Yes.
talk about the Thunder trucks.
Yeah.
They do not feel like the other Thunder trucks whatsoever. Man, they sure turn like crazy. They are like an Indy or an Ace truck, and I know every cool YouTuber has done a video on them so far, so I'm sure I'm not going to be relaying any information that anybody has not heard already. But as a bigger skater, I was like, I'm not messing with these bushings in the sense of I'm not swapping them. I'm going to try and skate them as is and tighten them up a little bit and just see how they break in and see how they feel. So, big fan.
So on your average setup, would you say your trucks are like medium tight or loose?
Yeah.
If I'm skating, I don't have like a truck. I'm not like
Preference.
die hard any brand. I do love Venture. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Venture trucks. Ventures, I feel like I just tighten once or twice, maybe like so one thread is sticking up and I'm good. I ride stock bushings. If I'm riding Indy trucks, I switch to the blue 92 medium hard bushings, and those I'll try and ride with it flush. Like I don't crank my trucks because I do like, if you're doing slappy crooks or something or feeble and you're pinching a grind, you need that wheel to almost hit your board or whatever, so I need my trucks to turn. I'm definitely not welding my trucks by any means.
Are those inverted kingpin or anything?
No,
I actually, it's funny you say that because I was like looking at it today. I was like, should I pound these kingpins out and put in my crux hollow down low kingpins? But I'm trying to do a service to Deluxe. They took the time to send me a set of trucks, and I want to ride them for at least a couple weeks and see what I think. But like I said, I do bounce around on my setup, so like I might ride, like I said, on my 9-inch board, I have Indy 169s. On 875, I have Venture 875 or 6.1s, and I actually took a pair of V8 based trucks and split them up. So I have a V8 base plate on my 875 in the tail to make the wheelbase shorter and the tail longer. And then on my other board, I have it on my nose to make my nose longer.
Those are fun.
yeah. So
Such a cool idea.
I often wonder
What kind of psychopath puts both their trucks in on the average wheelbase? Because like that just seems crazy to me to shorten your whole wheelbase by a half an inch. Oh my god! I knew it.
I tried
you,
it.
Steve.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew you were going to raise your hand.
I bring them both in.
But I mean, like our 8.25 is a 14.25 wheelbase, and I'm riding these 14-inch wheelbase boards. So I'm like, oh, if I put the Ventures in, then I can.
No, I
Mitch, you have the V8s?
I have them. I'm not riding them right now, but I have them like on deck if I decide to. I've really just been hooked on these Aces, man. Like the AF1s they turn the way I want them to. They grind how I need them to. So I've been like kind of sticking with those. But I'm interested in the Thunders because regular Thunders always feel too squirrely to me because the turning is like back further. Like I feel like it turns, back closer to like your nose and tail as opposed to like the center of the truck. Like I always feel like it's squirrely for me, for like the way that I am used to skating.
well,
So like,
See where the bolts are. I don't know. I'm trying to hold it in here so you can kind of see
Yeah.
like where the hanger is set. These don't feel like the other Thunder trucks.
his looks further out than yours.
correct.
Like it looks like the hanger's over the bolts on Steve's.
Yep. I will overstate
What everybody else says too, to anybody who's watching this and maybe curious about trying them, the bushings definitely stiffen up. So when I first put these together, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to die if I try and skate these trucks. Like these bushings are way too soft, and I have them tightened down with like 1.5 threads sticking up now, and I probably need to back it off a little bit because it's like it's crazy. I didn't imagine the bushings would get harder like that, but they definitely did. So it's been an interesting experiment so far.
Yeah, especially in summer where like the bushings get so hot so fast, and they loosen up that way too.
Yeah, I had that one when we were at Staten Island the other day, and I was like, my board feels waterlogged. Like, this sucks. But now I cranked them up, I'm good. So, aside from the geometry, that's the only real difference with them?
I mean,
Like, it's not a different material, or...
I don't know. The base plate part, I really like this part of the base plate where the pivot is. Man, it's so nice being able to like catch your base plate on slides. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's
it's-
cool. It's where the other ones, with the old Thunders, you were sliding wheel to the ledge. Now you're hitting a little base plate.
Yep. And we compared
them at the shop. We like looked at the pivot and the kingpin and kind of looked at the angle. This part of the truck is much taller than the other Thunder base plate. This part, which is interesting. I guess
like the seat where the kingpin is.
correct. Like
that part's much taller than the other Thunder truck and most of the other truck brands. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know what that does, but it makes the bushings smaller. So like if you actually look at the bushings, they're much thinner this way. So that's been kind of cool.
Now, does that make it harder than to put an off-brand bushing in?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I haven't tried.
I'm not a true. I'm not like some of the guys that post on Slap that are like truck Illuminati, where I see some of the things that they post, and I'm like, because I definitely lurk on there a lot, and I read all the posts about setups, and I'm looking at they're talking about the new Thunder truck and they have all of these measurements of bushings and everything, and have you seen the meme where it's like all of the math equations floating in the air around like that's what I feel like when I look at it. I'm just like, you guys are way too smart for me. I just set it up and skate it and see if I like it. But I mean, that's why.
Are they higher?
They are higher. These are 54 millimeters tall versus 52.
Trash. Throw them out. Burn them. Melt them. Get those out of here. That makes sense. So they would turn better because Thunders were always the lowest regular truck.
Yeah,
I always thought.
I've gotten so much wheel bite even with tightening these up. So it's like it's gotten better. I definitely ride vert wheels. I prefer like a bigger wheel, like a 55 or a 56. These are 54 conical full 97s.
they feel
Fine. My flip tricks are better with these. I even bought some 53 lock-ins 99s that I want to put on there just because I'm trying to kind of edge my way back to where my setups were when my skating was a little better, more consistent. So I feel like I could actually do more tricks. I know, Steve, 50 is the only way. I did. Funny, I had a customer. He brought in a bunch of used boards and stuff, and with all of his stuff, there was a brand new pair of 50 millimeter Kenny Hoyle Expedition wheels, and it had his name on it. And I was like, random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, can
Kinda
you imagine
fun.
how bad those wheels must have been?
There, I could send them to you. You could always do a review on them. They're just sitting at the
They'll
shop.
flat spot in 2 seconds.
Yeah, let's review this brand that's been gone for 8
The
years.
Formula 4s really changed the game so much where it's like, I remember girl wheels and they would just flat spot in a day. Like if you were trying blunt slides or something, it was just done.
Dude, I rode those alien cord wheels forever.
I love those. I love those.
That was one of my
Probably my favorite things I ever did was getting to help test Formula 4s before they came out. Like I think it was a year. My friend Nate was sending me sample wheels. So I rode probably like 10 iterations of the Formula 4 before it came out. So that was like pretty cool to be able to like get some wheels, try it. They gave me like a questionnaire. I'd fill it out, send it back. Sometimes I'd send the wheels back. Then they send me another set and they'd be like, all right, what do you think? What's the look like? What's the feel? All that stuff. That was like probably one of the coolest things I got to do was be able to just like help. I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily probably help that much, but I was like, damn, they're going to take the time to send me these wheels and a questionnaire. I'm going to be as descriptive as I can and actually try to ride them on every possible surface and try to help make the best wheel.
Yeah, all
Miss
the
the
feedback
101s.
helps.
Formula 4 101s. So much fun.
Oh, no way. It's like ice skating. They're so hard.
They were so cool.
We can't give that stuff
Away here. It's so crusty here. It's like, I feel like probably 70% of our wheel sales are like assorted durometer, like 93 through 97. And then everybody else just, kind of buys a 99. And I ride 99s too.
I'm used to them.
But yeah, 101 we do sell a few, but it's funny. There was a point when it was like pretty split, 101 and 99. And then at some point the 101 just died off completely for us. And then it was all 99. And then once the soft slider came out, the 93, then it was like 97, 93 for the most part. So
Interesting. But I get it.
I mean, those 93s have helped me out in multiple situations where I'm skating a spot and like, oh, this sucks. Let me try skating this board instead. And it's literally like it's my exact same, 8.25 board, aces, the whole deal, but just with the 93s on it. And it makes such a difference.
It's wild how
well they slide. Like they might slide
Yeah.
better than a 99.
they don't exist anymore.
More, I don't think. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I know there is a component of the wheel that is proving challenging for Deluxe to get. So they haven't had any in stock in months, and I hope they do have them again. But it's not looking good, I guess. But we'll hope for the best.
Fingers crossed for you, Dave.
We sell a lot of them, that's for sure. I mean, Simon Banner was supposed to have a pro wheel come out in March. And that was going to be a radial full, the widest one they make, because he rides pretty big wheels, 93, and it never came out because they couldn't get the materials to make the wheels.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Fuck. Anything else you guys want to touch on?
Does Dave pass the dead air radio test? Is it Allen hardware?
Oh, yeah. Wait, you have Allen hardware.
Phew. Okay.
7/8. I did. Are these okay? Cool. These are all 7/8. I have one of my setups where one of my 7/8 stripped, and I have a 1-inch Allen amidst my 7/8. But this one is all 7/8 Allen. No, I've been my friend Isaac. He would always vibe me that I would have a Phillips hardware, and Steve and you. I definitely was like, no, I can't have Phillips hardware. I have to have only Allen. So.
And then I guess
one of
I'll
the
ask
comments
you,
on that last video said something like, or somebody texted me like, you guys are, I want to say it's like Allen enthusiasts, but there was like another term that made it so much funnier.
connoisseurs.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hardware connoisseur.
These ones are roughneck.
I like
Allen advocates. That's what it was.
I like how small the head of the Allen of the hardware is on the roughneck hardware. It's a much smaller head than like some of the other brands.
Stuff. it's just when skating's still cool. Like, do you care about your hardware? You know, because there's a lot of people I'm sure like, huh, hardware, whatever, I don't care.
95%
You know,
of
Customers.
and then it's like, do you like you don't have Allen hardware? I'm walking out of here. You know,
I really like it when someone comes in and they're like hyper specific, like insane specific, where they like not just like Allen, but they're like, I really need the Shorty's Silverado 7/8 Allen. They like have like multiple requests for this really niche, like kind of like small, hard to find hardware, or like grip tape or something. Like they asked me for Black Magic or something random.
do you have
And you know,
Alvear grip?
I don't even know what that is. Alvear grip.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like
What's his name?
Steva's company.
Yeah. Sua Kratkov, whatever the fuck. The kid was on Blind who does pressure flips.
I will say this.
I got gifted a sheet of black gold grip tape, and
Man, it was good.
like I'm gonna order some for the store. I think it was a little expensive. It's hard to charge money for something that people, which we don't do free grip anymore. Finally, we had to start charging for grip tape after so long. I don't know. I've been there 25 years, and we finally had to start charging for grip because things were getting kind of rough.
Did that cause riots?
I wouldn't say a riot.
Riot, but I did have a situation with a customer over the weekend, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Sorry, man, can't give you free grip with your sailboard. You have to buy grip tape." And
He did, begrudgingly.
but I was just like, man,
I got free grip the other day and was like blown away that they still did it.
Yeah, we just had to find a
stop doing it. It was, and hopefully we haven't. I mean, maybe we have lost some sales. I don't know, but in this day and age, I just don't know how else you can make it.
Yeah, everybody's doing it. It's not like you're this one shop who's like pressing them for free grip. It's like no one's doing that anymore.
I ordered 2 sheets of grip. I ordered 2 sheets of grip yesterday, the other day from Seasons because I needed a grip for the board I got from you, Mitch. And I don't know what I did with my spare. It's like gold, and as gold as this is.
What is that? Is that a stocking?
It's a stocking. So, Mitch's good friend, my friend Kai, he used to ride for Dark Star Wheels. And, like, he saved, so he was on Dark Star Wheels, and he was like, he sent me this, and he sent me, I have it somewhere. Like, it's like a bath tile. Here it is. Look at this thing. And he goes, yeah, Chet, send these out on Christmas. This was like his Christmas present for riding for Dark Star. And he got like if you're redoing your bathroom anytime soon and you would like to put this in there, I will send it to you.
I'm sure my wife will.
He was always politicking to get that chain. Some of them had the Dark Star medallion.
Did he not get the chain?
No. We would always roast him about it. You're like, yo, you're B team.
It's so funny.
Is this
The best way to end the pod is when we all pick out the most random piece of skate memorabilia we have
Yeah, we can do that.
in arm's length.
I'm very upset that I just blew my my chance there on a Dark Star sock, but
I'm looking to see what I have. I've got a couple
you probably have
things here.
some cool. Is that the Hollywood video I see?
Oh yeah,
That checkerboard one?
Yep, right up there. That's the Hollywood video. This, like I said, this is my like C and D team list.
You have public domain up there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of this is I have a DVD copy as well. But
Are those all your videos like you've always had?
yeah, I definitely
was the guy that bought every single video that came into the shop. No questions asked. Like when I first was able to work at 35th, that's like when I could order videos, I just ordered everything. So
I did the same.
Yeah, so
if I got the Hollywood video, I got the Beer City video, I didn't differentiate. So
Arsenal.
Yep.
Do you have an Arsenal video?
I do have Arsenal loaded.
Loaded. I just traded Loaded with some other stuff to Arbuckle for a special board I needed.
One thing that kept happening
at the shop that was super cool and was, man, I'm so thankful for it. People just started bringing me their video collections, and I was like,
so cool,
dude, like, you're really giving me this copy of the GX1000 video? Do you like that's $100, dude? Like you could easily sell that. I mean, hopefully they're not listening to this, but like stuff like that, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, my one friend here. I'll try not to keep you guys. I know you guys. It's late.
No, I don't.
But like,
This is the best part of the show.
so my
Well, while he
friend.
looks for that. Oh,
So
go ahead.
my friend, he lived in Long Beach, and this video store was going out of business, and so he went in there and bought all of the skateboard videos that they had, and then he was over it and just gave them all to me. So I ended up with all these crazy VHS, like this Summer Sessions DVD, which is probably
Wow.
doesn't exist. This one's kind of funny. The Go For It
Radical moves.
Cool moves.
Duel at
Diablo VHS.
Oh, sick! I remember that.
Savannah Slam It
I remember renting that from Blockbuster.
and
and
Vision.
Barge at Will, which I don't know if I've seen anybody else with, but I'm sure plenty of people have it. But they're just some random VHS cool stuff to have, you know, like this room is like my wife just lets me put all my skate stuff in here because I have so goddamn much of it. But
Yeah, I love VHS tapes.
okay, well, the things that I picked that were within. Do one of you guys want to go first, or should I go first?
I shot my load already with the stupid sock. So, Mitch,
All right, I got two things. So this just came this week. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. Strangelove board from our friend that Rob was doing Side Effect Goods. Say this cool Strangelove collab. You got it for $65.
It's fun
So
because
psyched on it.
That's his Instagram logo, and I didn't know that from the Side Effect, you know, because it's like I was like, oh, that looks like
Yeah.
his Instagram picture.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
that's his brand.
And the
did
only
you have
other
that
thing
Gabriel Rodriguez, Dave?
What's that?
Because that's taken from the Gabriel Rodriguez with the drill.
yeah, with the drill, the
Did
101.
you have that board, Dave?
No, I had the Punisher.
Sure.
I had that one.
I got that from the free board. You send it in to Big Brother to get a subscription, get a free board, and they sent me the Driller Killer board. Not the Driller
Amazing.
Killer, the Punisher. Sorry.
Yeah, the penalizer or whatever it was. And then this is the only other thing I just had sitting by. This Nick from Minus makes these random ass stickers. And Paris Hilton and Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan. It just says Minus Skate Shop. Love it. Like, that shit's hysterical.
I watched that episode.
With him, and I was like instantly such a fan. I just went and followed his account.
He's great.
I love that shop. So cool.
Okay,
Yeah, it's awesome.
These are all really random. I figured this fully flared iPod case would be kind of funny.
No way.
Wow.
I don't know why I still have this, but I do.
That's amazing.
Shay skateboards.
It's playing cards. I thought that was kind of a funny random thing to have.
What did that? Did they just send that, or was that with part of like a board series, or?
You know, I think I got gift.
You know, like being okay. So as Mitch, both you guys would know, working at a shop, you just get stuff. People make friends.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to send you a box. Send you something cool. I love it. I wouldn't trade that for the world. It's the best part of my job, getting to interact with people. I get to send people stuff. They send me stuff. It's sick. I think I got this crazy box from Dwindle, and I got cliche playing cards, all these crazy stickers, like kind of soccer stickers. Like they're all spoofed and wearing like
Yeah,
World
I remember
World
that
Cup
series.
gear. And then
Yeah.
I got a incense burner that was like made out of skateboards, which was weird. And then a wine cork, like a corkscrew that was cliche and also made out of skateboards. It was a very random box of stuff. I think in like maybe 10 copies of Hello JoJo on DVD.
I love when brands make random shit like that. Like we've done it a few times with stuff. Like we did a collab with somebody and Angel found these like metal lunch boxes.
Mhm.
So we did like full size like lunch tins to promote these boards and like just gave them out to all the shops that ordered the board.
That's
Or like we did like a BMW series and he found little BMW Matchbox cars that looked like Carrie and Mathis's BMWs and like put them on like cardstock and made like a little display to it. Like just random stuff like that. It's always fun.
And the last thing I have
Is one of the trucks that are from one of my original boards that I got as a kid that somehow I still have. And it's a Tracker ultralight hanger, the blue tile Tracker with the Tracker sticker that came with the Coper. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, so those are the ones with the
I can
plastic
follow
base
up with
plate?
that.
Yeah, here is the base plate. I don't know why it's not together.
there's the ultralight.
Base plate,
So insane.
I don't know why I still have it.
but I just do.
My first trucks were Trackers.
So this is my first board that I ever bought brand new.
Damn.
The
So-
actual board?
Yeah, this is the one.
Wow.
Like, look at that tail, just like chomped to pieces, and same thing with the nose, just like I rode this thing into the ground.
It's funny, you just
Reminded me, I went down this rabbit hole with my wife of trying to find the skate shop that I first went to get my first board at. Like, I'd find anything about it online, and I couldn't find anything about it. And it's called
Dumpies.
and it was in Lakewood, Washington, but I couldn't find anything about it that it even existed. And I bought a Kevin Staub Mighty model for godforsaken reason. That was the first board I chose out of the Mark Gonzalez or the Nodis or the Matt Hensley or all of the cool ass boards they had there. I don't know why I picked it, but I did.
Better than a Tony Hawk.
That's debatable, but
Yeah, it kills me. It kills me every time I think of and I was like Tony Hawk with the chicken skull. Like I was like, yeah, that one. I didn't look at anything else. That I had my mind set like Tony Hawk board. And I was just like, yep, Tony Hawk board. I remember that. And like I remember now thinking about all the cool stuff they had on the wall at this place, and I got that. So
It's funny.
yeah, go figure.
I do have a reissue of the very first board that I bought used, but I don't have a Kevin Staub. I probably should get a Kevin Staub if I could find one, but I'm sure they go for really good money.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't even imagine what finding that Believe from 95 would be.
yeah, it's got to be so
Man.
Expensive.
Well, I'm gonna cheat. I have one because it's
Tony
the worst
Hawk?
video ever. But so I got excited. This was one Kai gifted me in the thing, and I was like, "No way!" The fun video. So this is how they came, though. They came just like super bootleg looking. This one I think is on. It says like yearbook, like BTS. There's like so they're all dubbed. But I was like, "Oh, cool! This is like." Keenan and Huff
But
are
it
going
is
to
the
be in
video?
here. No, it's fucking Brad Staba, Dustin Charlton, and Nate McLaughlin, and then Ron Allen has like 4 clips. But it starts off with like a 12-year-old Brad Staba, and I'm just sitting there like...
So it is a fun video.
It's at the end after everybody like mutinied.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was
thought you were saying
at
it was
this
the
on-
wrong video in that sleeve.
No,
That's
it's
what I
right.
thought, too.
It's the fun...
Just
Yeah, it's the
not
fun
the
video.
not the fun you wanted it to be.
No, man. Thank God Kai had this, though, because there was one of these up on eBay, and I was like, oh, it was like $100 or something, and I was like, I should save up some money, like, and get this.
Thank you guys. You spent $100 for a video.
Keenan, like, there's one on YouTube, and it has Keenan and Huff as like kids. It's so cool, and I thought it was this, but it's definitely not this. So I was super bummed. But according to Arbuckle, it's very rare.
It's
and
crazy
mine
they
has
put
the
out
sticker.
2 videos. I'm
What's
like,
that?
It's crazy they put out 2 different videos, and like, how long was Fun around?
I've asked. I hope if I'm wrong and somebody's made it this far, but I don't think the first one exists as a video. Like if it was maybe a trade show thing or like something they
Okay.
just but yeah, like I don't know if it actually exists. Like that somebody must have it because it was uploaded. But I heard like Ron Allen years ago was selling like flash drives with it or something. So I don't even know if it ever came out or what. Yeah, this was like the biggest bummer ever. Because this should be so cool, and it was like the least cool thing I've ever seen. So
I don't know. You've watched The Storm, so I don't know if it's the least cool thing you've ever seen.
Rodney Torres is in The Storm, so I would hold The Storm higher than this video. Ron Allen's in this, maybe that washes each other, but it's like 2 clips, 3 clips.
Okay.
The storm winds. This was like, you can't be up here and then it's Brad Staba.
I'm sure that's probably
Yeah.
right.
Threw in
So I
the
was super
towel.
pumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, or Dave? You have anything else hidden there, or that's it for this episode?
So we're nice hour and 35 in.
That's great. I don't care. It's best hour and 35 minutes ever in all of skateboarding.
Well, he looks.
I don't got anything
Boy,
too
Kai.
cool product like video wise up here. It's all kind of a bunch
Is
of
that
random.
Stranger Hat like original to 90?
Nah,
Three-ish?
this was a reissue.
Okay.
I bought it when
They reissued his board. They just did it that one time. They did Jim's board and Julian's board, and I bought it, and then I just looked like a goofball trying to wear a trucker hat. That's just not for me. So I bought it, and it's just sat there for however, it's probably been 15 years or whatever since they reissued it. So no, nothing else really. We've just been working on this DIY spot and skating, and I'm super motivated to try and film a video part by the end of the year. So just going to be doing that. So trying to skate hard, keep 35th going, keep
myself going.
Awesome.
Yeah, love to hear it.
Yeah. I'm hyped. It's been too long, Dave. Thanks for coming on.
It is kind of
just really quick before we go, I was kind of like thinking about it, like how we got to know each other through Northern Co. and just kind of like over the years, like you buying stuff from the store, both you guys, and just
funny how
the internet works, making friends, everybody's connected. We're all still love skating, no matter if it's the same type of skating or not, but we're all like so into it. And I reflect on that all the time. Just all the cool people I met, just doing what I would have been doing anyways. So it's always sick to see you guys, check in with you guys, and or see what you're up to with skating or with Terra Planet X or whatever it is that's going on. It's sick to get an email from Mitch or just see your collection grow or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's crazy how like the connections work. Like I'm going to Minnesota in 2 weeks. Like who the hell do I know in Minnesota? But I got people to go skate with and spend the day with and do whatever just because of the internet.
It's the traveling and the meeting people. That was always the coolest part of skating. Like, I'm sure we could all say it. Like Mitch, you just said it now. I remember meeting a friend who lived in, in England, and it was like overselling a Poets t-shirt on eBay, 25 years ago. But I remember then even like talking to him and then like, oh, you skate? I'm going out on a trip anyway with my wife and meeting up, like got me to England to go, just meeting people all over and skating and doing the traveling thing and just, keeping in touch with people. It's kind of the best part of skating,
Yeah, this pod has definitely been a cool part of it. Like I hit up Mike from Blatant Nostalgia and I was like, hey, I'm going to be coming through Chicago. If you're around, let's try and link. I'm only going to be there for a couple hours, but
definitely the coolest part, man. And I hope that
got to get out to Washington
someday.
I got to make that happen.
I don't try.
I definitely, I could try harder.
Yeah, I hate flying.
We know.
Yeah, but no, it would be sick. My friend Mike met Dave. You met Jagani when you guys went to. Was that in San Francisco?
Yeah, with
Mike and Jamil and Dylon, and that was a good time. I went and skated with them instead of going to a San Francisco Giants game for the release of TNT's shoe. So I would say that I chose the greater option.
Yeah, 200%. Yeah, but the coolest shit about skating, man, meeting all these people all over, and I hope the kids now who start, like this is kind of the cool thing when you get into it. Like there's that whole dimension to it, and I just hopefully they eventually do get to see that part of it because it is like such a cool aspect of skating. I think.
Yeah. No, it's
literally 1 degree of separation. I can't. There's so many people that come through my shop or through my world, and I'm like, oh, so and so. Yep. It's not like this person knows this person. It's like, oh, you just know him, who I know. Like everybody that it's like such a strong connection. And skateboarding, and it's, people do say it all the time how small it is, but man, once you work within it and people that work within it, it's really the smallest world. So if you like kind of like put your foot in your mouth or you say something you're not supposed to say, it gets back to the person usually pretty quick. Good or bad?
The little weightlifter guy on hockey is going to be banging on my door after this.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna come body slam you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Dave,
That's
thanks
the perfect
again.
place to end this.
Yeah, that's where this is going to end.
It's all
And
good.
yes, everybody out there, go to 35th Ave. Make sure you buy tons of stuff. www.35thave.com.
Yeah, and I'll make a
Discount code, we'll do Dead Air 15 for 15% off everything off the site.
There we go. Dead Air 15.
Man.
Yeah, nice. Thanks, Dave.
for sure. No,
I always want to
That's-
hook everybody up, so that's my goal.
Jaded. And you always have a
Yeah,
lot of
everything.
stuff. There's huge selection.
Yeah, it's not. We didn't touch on it, but man, apparel is rough. So we don't have as much apparel anymore, but we do have a lot of skateboards and stuff.
Yeah, it's slow for sure.
I
Let's add
Cool.
on.
Yeah, that was
end
fun.
on let's end on the saddest note possible.
There we go.
Well, I think we can cut it before that.